So here is our bubu. This is Joydala Fashion Guide. Welcome to Joydala Fashion Guide. Today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make a simple short dashiki or short bubu or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be using 2 yards of fabric. Because of the way the print is, I'm going to be folding it this way. This side is the by 45 side, but I'm going to cut here and join to the full length. Okay, so I folded here. So I folded 18.5 inches. This is so if you don't want joining in your own, then you turn it the other way, the yardage side, the 36 side, and then you fold it into 2. So the joining will not be only at the shoulder, and then there will be no joining at the down part. I want it to stop around the knee, and I do not want any joining at the shoulder. If you want joining at the shoulder of yours, then you can do your shoulders slope of 1 inch, but I'm not going to be doing any shoulder slant. So half of the shoulder measurement, you put it, and then this is going to be the length of sleeve. Okay, so I'll just use the remaining one as the length of sleeve. But if you fold it completely to 2, then you can extend the length of sleeve that you want. Okay, but this is what I'm going to be making use of. And then for the neckline, I'm going to be using 3.5. For the back neck, it's going to be a built up kind of collar. So for the back, I'll use 1 inch. And then for the front, I'm going to use 10 inches. So you can use the neck, you can adjust according to your preference. And then I'll determine the opening of the sleeve area. Okay, so you can use the bust. Since it's a free top, you can use the bust span, the bust circumference divided by 4, and then you can add 1 or 2 inches to that. My bust circumference divided by 4 is 10 inches, but because it is a free kind of top, I'm going to be making mine 12 inches. So I just mark 12 inches here. So this is 12 inches. So the next thing is a free top. So you use your hip measurement to determine how free you want it to be. Your hip circumference divided by 4, and then you add the ease that you want. So if, for example, your hip is 11, you can decide to add 4 inches or 5 inches or 3 inches depending on how much ease that you want. Okay, my hip circumference is 46, which is 11.5, and if I decide to add 2.5, I'm going to be having a total of 14. So the 11.5, I'm going to add 2.5. So that will be 14, and then I'm going to add 1 inch for seam, so that will be 15. So you just measure what the total of what you have. I have 15 here. You go ahead and mark the 15 at the hem. and then so the difference is 3.5. So you come to this where the sleeve will stop, you just go in by 3.5. So you mark that. I'm going to connect with a straight ruler like this. It's a free top, so it doesn't need a, if you want yours to be fitted to have some shape there, you can adjust it, but I want mine to be free. Then you can now curve this part like this. So that is all for the side. This is for the back neckline. So I'll cut the front neckline after separating it. So don't forget, the front neck depth is going to be 10 inches. So I cut. So I'm going to add this to the down part. This is going to be added to the down part like this to make it longer. So I'm making use of this for the sleeve area. I just use it to create the covering for the sleeve. Okay, I'm using to create covering for the sleeve, and that way to also extend the sleeve a little. So I'm cutting the back neckline now. So this is for the back neckline. Remember, it's a cut together shoulder. So decide you use for the front or the back. So this side will be for the back, and then this side will be for the front. So you want to go ahead and iron the shoulder and the middle so that you can have a crease line to serve as a guide. So after ironing, you separate the back. So this is now the front. So for the design in the front, you can determine how wide you want the down part to be. Remember that the fabric is on fold. So if you mark 1 inch, it means that it's going to be 2 inches. If you mark 1.5, it's going to be 3 inches. If you mark 2, it's going to be 4 inches. So I want mine, the wideness, to be I'll use 1 inch, or let's say 1.5, so that when you open it, it will be 3 inches. So from here, I'll connect it with a straight line to this shoulder. Remember, our shoulder here is 3.5. This line here. So with the inch that you have gone in with here, then from here you mark to this side. When you cut, be careful when you are cutting this corner. So when you open it up, this corner, just notch it a little. That will help you to sew. You notch it like this, diagonally, like this, at a corner, at an angle. So when you open it up, this is how the neckline will be. So you can, at this point, you can try it over your head to see if you are okay with it. If not, then you make your necessary adjustments. So to cut the design in front, I'm going to be using this Valentino satin. So remember that the width that we have here is 1.5. So on fold, this will be cutting 4 inches, because we need 1/2 inch to sew, so that when we are through, we will now have the 1.5. So what you want to do next is to measure. We are going to measure from round the neck like this, from here, measure round to this side, so that we can cut out what we are using. So just measure. I have 30. Okay, to avoid any error or any shortage, you can go ahead and add extra to that. You can always trim it off. So I'll add 4 inches extra to that, making 34. So I've cut, this is a straight, so it's going to be 2 inches wide. We'll use 1/2 inch for seam. So on fold is 2.5. So I'm going to iron its gum stay on it to make it firm. So to sew on the right side, this is the right side. So from where you notch, from this notch part, so you can make your notch 1/2 inch. So I'm going to sew from here. So after ironing, place it together like this and stitch. So you leave like 1/2 inch and then place it on it like this. I'll just use a pen to show. So use your pin to hold it in place. This corner, you can notch it a little so that it will be free. So you go around the neck. So this particular satin is light, so that is why you need to iron gum. That is why I'm going to iron gum still on it to make it firm. And then I'll stop somewhere here, then cut off the excess. Okay, so that when we are through, then you can go ahead and use your overlock machine to overlock here. Okay, after that you flip it inside like this. It's going to be on it like this. Like this. So take note of where to stop. And then for the other design in front, I'm going to cut a square. You can make it 10 by 10, but I'm going to make mine 10 and a half by 10 and a half, so that when after sewing it will be 10 by 10. And I'm going to double it because this is light. So I've cut out the square, so you can make it as wide as you want. I've changed mine. I want it to be 12 by 12 when I'm through. So to the 12 I added seam allowance. See, I have 13 here, so after stitching I'll have 12. Then this side I have 12 and a half, so that after closing it I will now have 12. So on one side I'll iron interfacing on one side, and then I'll fold it like this. I'll stitch here, close, then I'll flip it inside out, and close the remaining parts. So I can use any glue to do that, to finish it up so that there will be no seam. You just fold it in and use any glue to cover it up. So that will be all for this. So remember that our space was 1.5. So after stitching you are going to be having 4 inches wide. I'm going to trim off the excess later. Just want to quickly show you. So I want mine to, so you can determine how you want to place yours. So I'll just locate, I'll measure what I have here, then look for where I have it here. So if, for example, you measure like this, you have 4 inches. Then you just check where you have the 4 inches. Okay, because it's going to be on it like this. I want the style to be like this. So you can determine if you want it to be, you can determine how you want the design to be, if you want it out a little. So this is what I want to have at the end of the day. I want it to be like this. So make sure you position it very well before you start stitching. Okay? After, you can use your pins to hold it down. Then you now stitch on top like this. Alternatively, you can also use hemi glue to hold it down. Okay, so this is how I want my design to be. So that is all for the front design. Then for the sleeve this one that I cut out, I'll just simply use it to turn here. I'll just use it to turn it, to tidy it so that you be on it like this. Okay, that's what I'm going to do for both sleeve. And then I'll join the down part. So I'll place it on it like this and stitch here. Okay, so before I stitch, I'll just cut out the second one. You know, there are two, one for the front, one for the back. So mark it, measure it like this with what you have, against what you have, fold it into two, confirm it, and then cut. So one for the front, one for the back. So if you want a pocket, you can add pockets to yours. So determine where the pocket will be from where your sleeve ends. Just measure 8 or 9 inches, or you measure from the shoulder, so where your waistline is, to 18 inches, 18 inches or 19, depending on where your waist measurement is. So from the shoulder, you can measure 18, then you notch the point. Make sure you fold it before notching. So after we are through with the sleeve, we are through with the down, we just fold it inside out like this. And sew with the 1 inch seam allowance that we have left. So let me confirm the seam allowance I have here. Okay, for here I'm using 1/2 inch, so I'll sew 1/2 inch here, then this side I'll sew 1 inch. So from here 1/2 inch into 1 inch. I'll do same for both sides. Then after that, the down part, the hem, just fold it in twice. Fold the hem in twice and stitch, and that will be all. I'll show you the final look on the mannequin. So here is the final look of our dashiki with beat-up collar. You want to call it a shift dress, or will you like to call it a short bubu? So whatever it is, this is looking lovely. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel to keep seeing more of those videos. This is Joy Dala Fashion Guide.